Hare Krishna. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudire. It is not Srimati, it is Srimate. Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Pradeep, are you observing? Please try to recite the pranam mantra properly. Mhm. If you recite Srimati, it is not addressed to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is the disciple of Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It is Saraswati Deve. It is not Saraswati Devi also. And it is not Srimati. Both are incorrect. Then it is not addressed to Srila Prabhupada. You have to be very clear and very cautious when you are addressing the pranam mantra of the founder Acharya. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Neither Saraswati or neither it is Srimati. Clear or not clear? I'm, addressing to all of you.
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah. Have you not heard me speaking the pranam mantra of Prabhupada for so many years you are hearing? Did I say Srimati or Saraswati? So from where have you picked up? This is my question. This is the question which is being asked by Srila Narad Muni. Where have you picked up? Very important. If you try to do anything whimsically, it will have a counter effect. Okay, for everyone. And even in Guru Ashtakam, most of the people recite the fourth para wrong. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. So it is prasado. Prasad. And chaturvidhashi bhagavad prasadaha. It is prasada. It is not prasado. So my request is when you are observing the path of bhakti, please observe it with care and caution so that you are near to perfection. Okay, we see in this section that Srila Narad Muni has arrived because Vyāsadeva was not feeling satisfied. Even after giving such volumes of Vedic version, doing such commendable work, even after giving the Vedanta Sutra, what we see that in his heart, he is having the feeling of incompleteness. He is having the feeling of dissatisfaction. Very important section of Srimad Bhagavatam. This will make us to think again that in the kind of pursuance we are having for our academic or career goals, will it actually satisfy our heart? What are we doing to satisfy the heart? And the heart can be satisfied when the king of the heart, that is the Supreme Lord, is satisfied. So here we see that Vyasadeva is being questioned. And how he questions, how he chastises. Who remembers what was the word used for chastisement for Vyasadeva by Narad Muni? I am sorry, Manoram Prabhu, you have given your write-ups, but I have not been able to forward it. But surely I will do it today. I will not sleep before forwarding them and reading them. You all should be knowing. We discussed yesterday only. Yes, Ravindra Prabhu, your hand went up first.
Prabhuji, he called him Prabhu and Parasaraya.
Yeah. He's calling you as Prabhu and your master. And also, what have you done? You are the son of the great sage Parashar. What was the fault? What is the fault which is, or the deficiency which has been diagnosed so far? Even after giving the Vedanta Sutra, Vedantaha, Anta means the end or the conclusion of all the Vedas, which has been presented by Srila Vyāsadeva. Still he is Sochasi. In the fourth verse, it is said that he was not satisfied. tathāpi sochasi ātmānam akritartha iva prabhu. So what is the diagnosis which Vyāsadeva has himself detected to some extent? And Narad Muni is reaffirming them. Now, what have you heard yesterday's class? Purushottam, what is the defect in all the Vedic presentations?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Defect was insufficiency to present the science of devotional service.
Okay, very good. Very good. This is one aspect. And there is one more aspect. Of course, if the devotional service has not been properly presented or glorified, then what has been presented? Where else has been the emphasis? Devadatta, you heard the class yesterday?
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Speak.
So he emphasized that the scriptures he has prepared so far is making the people stay in the bodily platform and body and mind platform.
Yes, yes. So Prabhupada says that one cannot be cheerful by nature unless one is factually seated in self-realization, which is transcendental to the material body and mind. So this is great learning for all of us. If we are too engrossed in trying to satisfy the body and mind, what will be the result? And then Narayana Smriti will not be there. We will be frustrated and we will only regret that we lost this opportunity in life. So now, having realized his deficiency, his defect, Vyāsadeva will speak. We will see from the 5th verse today. Just to connect. So Narad Muni said that you have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman as well as the knowledge derived therefrom. Yeah. Why should you be despondent? Despondent is the word, or so does the Dayashil, please mute your, okay. So why should you be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu? So now Śrī Vyāsadeva is speaking. Vyāsa uvāca asti eva me sarvam idam tvayoktaṁ tvayā asti eva me sarvam idam tvayā tathāpi nātmā parituṣyate me tan-mūlam avyaktam agādha-bodhaṁ pṛcchāmahe ātma-bhavātma-bhūtam. So Śrī Vyāsadeva is submitting. Vyāsadeva is requesting Śrī Narad. This is how the inquiry should be. He is saying that asti eva me sarvam idam tvayā uktam. So he is addressing to Śrī Narad Muni. He says that whatever you have said, asti eva me sarvam, whatever you have said up to now, tvayā uktam, uktam is to speak. I accept is that correct and truth. This is what Arjuna also does. What is the verse? Few words comes here in the same line is there. Sarvam etat ritan manne yanmam vadasi kesava. So here we see that how one can get benefit, not by arguing or not by having a different perception or conception. So Vyāsadeva is immediately submitting and saying that Śrī Vyāsadeva said, all you have said about me is perfectly correct. Tathāpi na ātma parituṣyate me. Despite all this, I am not pacified. Just by saying that there is some deficiency or some defect, it is not sufficient. It will not be able to release me or relieve me from my lamentation or my dissatisfaction. Why? Because here this is what the advancement of Śrī Vyāsadeva is. He is not just wanting to know that there is some defect. What he is saying? Tan-mūlam avyaktam agādha-bodhaṁ. So he wants to know the root. Mūlam means the root or the foundation. Tan-mūlam, keep it muted now. Why you are changing? Tan-mūlam means what is the root, what is the base, which is avyaktam. Avyaktam means it is not known to me, or that which is not very clear to me or undetected to me. He is not saying, okay, now I know. Narad Muni, you have come and you have asked me 2 questions. Now I know where is the defect. And don't worry. Yes, you have come. I have seated you. I will serve you. You are my spiritual master. Now I will correct myself. I will undo what has been done. If you see the verse, in the last verse, the same thing is being said, that thinking that you are undone. So I will redo, I will rewrite the scripture. What is the problem? I will again present it and the deficiency will be over. No. This is what these acharyas, these sages teach us. Where do we find a similar situation? Where do we find such references in Srimad Bhagavatam or in the Chaitanya Charitamrita? What does the disciple or the follower say? What is his perception or conception? Very important section of how to approach a spiritual master and how to submit to a spiritual master. Here he could have easily said, now I know. I have not glorified the devotional service. I have not glorified the Supreme Lord. And I have, remained at the level of mind and body. Never mind. I will present one more. I will present something new, which will be beyond this. And the problem is over. This situation is rectified. But it is even more deeper than that. So he is asking, it is that, what is the tan-mūlam? Avyaktam, agādha-bodhaṁ. Please, you have to respond. If you don't respond, then how do I move forward? So what is this approach called? This is the right approach. This is the proper approach. If you don't answer, I will not answer. I move ahead. I will just complete. Then I lose all the enthusiasm to explain. Despite all this, I am not pacified. I therefore question you about the root cause of my dissatisfaction. So he is saying that I am inquiring from you that what is the root cause of my dissatisfaction? Why? For you are the man of unlimited knowledge. Agādha-bodhaṁ. And why you are agādha-bodhaṁ? Due to your being the offspring of Brahmā ji. Pṛcchāmahe. Pṛcchāmahe is to ask, to inquire. And he is inquiring from whom? Narad Muni, who is tvātma-bhavātma-bhūtam. That you are the offspring of one Brahma who is self-born. That means he is not from the mundane platform. Neither is Brahmā ji on the material platform, nor is Narad Muni on the material platform. Both are on the transcendental platform. Why? Because both their Janma and Karma are Divyam. Purport. In the material world, everyone is engrossed with the idea of identifying the body or the mind with the self. Janasya moho aham mameti. As such, all knowledge disseminated in the material world, please watch the words. Prabhupada says, as such, all knowledge disseminated in the material world is related either with the body or with the mind. And that is the root cause of all despondencies. So unless and until one takes the shelter of the spiritual knowledge coming from the spiritual master, there is no possibility of anyone to be satisfied at any level. He may try whatever. It is the lack of his understanding or intelligence that he is not able to accept this fact. So here, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning and Vyāsadeva is inquiring. That means whatever he has done so far, whatever he has presented, that is not good. That is not sufficient for ultimate perfection. There is something lacking. And here it is being said that anything which is pertaining to body and mind, it will be the cause of one's suffering. It will remain the person to suffer in this material existence. He can never experience any solace or relief. What to talk about happiness or joy? Very impossible. That is why it is recommended that do not be very obsessed with your academic careers. Just do the needful. You don't try to win a Nobel Prize. Even if you win a Nobel Prize, you will not receive this satisfaction of the heart. Only possible when we follow into the footsteps of these Mahajana. Just imagine, who can be as scholarly as Vyāsadeva? Who can contribute to the extent to what Śrīla Vyāsadeva has contributed? Who can be as learned as Śrīla Vyāsadeva? And what is the situation of Vyāsadeva? Why all these episodes are there? In the beginning of Bhagavatam, this episode is given. Why? Just to inspire us and just to make us become aware that we may not pursue this life in the wrong path and lose it. So Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that all knowledge disseminated in the material world is either related with the body or with the mind. So what is this kind of knowledge called? I have discussed many times. What are the different divisions of knowledge or levels of knowledge? Who will answer? There is one knowledge that we are also pursuing from Srimad Bhagavatam. What knowledge is this? Which Vidya is this? Dayashil?
Apara
Yes,
Vidya,
bro.
Apara.
Knowledge related to mind body is apara vidya. Or it is jada vidya. It is jada vidya. And what is the recommendation of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur? What does he make us aware? Jada vidya, mayara vaibhav, jive ka kare gadha. Can you find out this verse? Manoram Prabhu? Jada vidya, mayara vaibhav, jive ko kare gadha. Very beautifully he has explained what is the situation of people in this world who are, searching after this jada vidya or apara vidya. What is their destination or what is the conclusion that they achieve in this life? It is not in Bhagavatam, it is in the songbook. Anyway, if you find out, then we will do, otherwise I'll move ahead. And that is the root cause of all despondencies. This is not always detected. And it cannot be detected. How can it be detected? Because one has no understanding anything beyond body and mind. So that is why it is called as avyaktam. Avyaktam is which is not detected, which is not reachable. Even though one may be the greatest erudite scholar in materialistic knowledge, whoever he may be, or whatever accolades or accomplishments he might have, It is good, therefore, to approach a personality like Narad to solve the root cause of all despondencies. So unless and until one submits and accepts his spiritual master, his suffering in this material world is never to be terminated. What to speak of terminated can never be reduced also. So this is what Srila Sanatana Goswami said. Apanara hita hit kichu nahi jane. I don't know. I even do not know what is beneficial for me. And I even do not know what is suicidal for me. In both ways, he was not saying, okay, I know what is not good for me. I just want to know, please tell me what is good for me. He says, Apanara hita hit kichu nahi jane. But if you become merciful to me, then you please kindly explain to me. Sadhya sadhana uchite na bodha. That he wants to inquire about both, that what is the process and what is the goal of human form of life. And we see, this is Arjuna also saying, Yat shreyashat nishchitam bruhitan me, shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Why Narada should be approached is explained below. A very important verse which shows that even the greatest of all Vedantists and the greatest of all erudite scholars, that representation is done by Śrī Vyāsadeva. Even if he, without the guidance of the spiritual master, cannot feel any satisfaction or happiness in his heart, then what to speak of any other ordinary living being? Further he says, Save bhavan ved samast guhyam upashito yat purusha purana paravaresho manaseva vishwam srijati aviti ati gunera sangaha. My Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you. Save bhavan ved samast guhyam. Bhavan is yourself, and Ved means to know. Anything and everything which is guhyam. Guhyam means which is confidential, which is secretive, which is not ordinary. Why? How Narad Muni knows everything confidential or secretive? Reason is upashito yat purusha purana. Because you are the first class devotee. Upasito means one who worshipper of Purusha, of the Supreme Lord, who is the oldest, Purusha Purana. Because you worship the creator and destroyer of the material world and maintainer of the spiritual world. That is Paravaresharo Manaseva Vishwam. The controller of the material and spiritual world, even of the mind and of the universe. Who is transcendental to the three modes of material nature? Who is transcendental to the three modes of material nature? The Supreme Lord. So whoever unflinchingly worships the Supreme Lord, what quality he develops? He develops the same transcendental quality. He also becomes transcendental to the material modes. And one who is beyond modes, one who is transcendental to the three modes, one who is unflinchingly connected to the Supreme Lord by devotional service, he also attains the quality of being transcendental. So here, Vyāsadeva is asking Narad Muni that everything is known to you. Prabhupada says, a person who is 100% engaged in the service of the Lord is the emblem of all knowledge. How knowledge is achieved? It is not acquired. It is received. And how it is received? Divya Gyan Hidaya Prakashita. It is received through the medium of a bona fide spiritual master. And how it is received? It is not that one is just hearing lectures, or one is just reading the literatures, he will receive knowledge. No, one may only receive the information, but one will not have the realization. So when situation will come in life, when difficult situations will come in life, he will not be able to apply that knowledge. It will be useless. The shining example is Karna. You know Karna? He tried to trick his spiritual master, Parshuram. And when Parshuram detected it, he said, when it will be required for you, it will not work. This knowledge will not work. You will forget it. Because you will not be able to realize it. So here Prabhupada is saying that devotional service, who stand present and engage the service of the Lord, is the emblem of all knowledge. Such a devotee of the Lord in full perfection of devotional service is also perfect by the qualification of the personality of Godhead. So, how he receives knowledge? By the perfection of his devotional service, and he pleases the Supreme Lord. That is the qualification, is that of the personality of God. The Supreme Lord approves his devotional service. As such, the eightfold perfection of mystic power, Ashtasiddhi, constitute very little of his godly opulence. A devotee like Narad can act wonderfully by his spiritual perfection, which every individual is trying to attain. Śrī Narad is a 100% perfect living being, although not equal to the personality of Godhead. I remember one past time, it is there in Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's magnum opus, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Sabha, which is compiled by Srila Bhakti Vikas Swami. Bhakti Vikas Swami took 20 years to compile the autobiography. He spent 20 years of his life to research and present Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur's biography. So he quotes one incident that one disciple of Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, who was by profession a doctor, a qualified doctor, MBBS doctor, he came to Bhakti Saraswati Thakur and said that I see that some of my god brothers, they're very scholarly. Some of Prabhupada also says that some of his god brothers were very, very scholarly. They were more expert than Srila Prabhupada even in terms of their knowledge of Vedic literatures. That is obviously Prabhupada's humility. Because as Prabhupada is mentioning here, that whoever is a 100% servant of the Supreme Lord, everything, he is the emblem of knowledge. So there was nothing which was not known to Prabhupada. Prabhupada always mentioned that. So anyway, so this disciple of Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur approached Bhakti Saraswati Thakur and he says that you please suggest one of your scholarly disciples or instruct him. So I want to also learn Shastras from him. Bhakti Saraswati Thakur thought for a while. He was a renowned doctor, renowned practitioner. It was well known in the society, in the spiritual society also, in the Gaudiya Math and outside also for his profession. So Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj said that, okay, if you want to understand Shastra, there is one disciple of mine, and he named the disciple. I don't remember the name of the disciple. You go and meet him and tell him that I have asked him to teach you Shastras. So this disciple was happy. He noted the name and he asked his god brothers that who is this person whom Gurudev has recommended. So they took him to that disciple of Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. And when he saw him that this disciple of Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, whom he has been recommended, he was the gardener in Gaudiya Math. What was he? He was doing gardening. And he was also illiterate. He did not know how to read and write. So this doctor disciple became very bewildered, very puzzled. How is it? Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj is asking me to hear from him, and when he asked this gardener disciple that, okay, Maharaj has asked me to hear Krishna Katha from you, so you please kindly recite, I will hear. So he was very humble. The gardener disciple, he said, what can I speak to you? You are such educated person, you are a doctor, you are so learned, and I am illiterate, what can I speak in front of you? So this doctor disciple decided that there may be some miscommunication. He again went back to Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. And he said, Maharaj, I think I heard the wrong name, or I noted the wrong name. I did not hear properly. The disciple suggested for me to go and study Shastra or hear Shastra. So Bhakti Maharaj asked, whom did you meet? So he said that I met such and such person. And he's a gardener. And he told me that he is illiterate. He does not know the Shastras at all. So kindly suggest me whom should I go and meet? And from whom should I get this learning? So Bhakti Maharaj said, you have noted the right person. This is whom I have recommended. That you go and hear from him. So this doctor was even more puzzled. He said, how can I go and hear from him? When he does not know anything, he does not know how to even read and write. What can he speak? So Maharaj became very grave. He said, he has all the realizations in his heart. He has served me unflinchingly throughout his life. And when this doctor, again, this heard this, he was shivering. He begged forgiveness. So Maharaj said, you don't beg forgiveness from me, you go and beg forgiveness from that disciple of mine, that gardener disciple. And this doctor came back and he begged forgiveness and pleaded that, my dear Prabhu, kindly be merciful on me. Twice Gurudev is asking me to hear from you. It is his instruction. So please allow me to follow his instruction and please be merciful. And then he started to speak. And this doctor was stunned. Because whatever Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur spoke, it entered his heart. And this doctor was pacified. So externally, the problem with all of us is we are very much engrossed and enamored by our satisfaction of the body and mind. We already have made our own conception and perception. And we are thinking that the spiritual aspect will also fit according to us. It will never fit. We will always remain a misfit. Unless and until we change. Unless and until we change, we will never experience the bliss or the joy which is there in bhakti. Why? Because once His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj was saying, he was saying in a humorous way that there was one cowherd lady, Gwalan. So she knew only one parameter. What was the parameter? Liter. Because she used to sell milk throughout his life. So she used to say, how many liters? So once she went to a cloth shop to buy cloth. And she asked the price. What is the price per liter? And the shopkeeper said, no, Mataji, it is not liter, it is meter. But she could not understand what is meter. Why? Because her mind was stuck with liter. So this is it. The despondency is there because of the heart is not satisfied. And again, what we are doing, we are trying to achieve success by trying in the wrong direction, which is the cause of all our suffering. So unless and until we change the track, unless and until we take to the route which is given by the Mahajanas, Mahajana yena katha supanta, there is no possibility of experiencing any satisfaction in this material world. What to speak of happiness? There is no happiness. Anityam sukham lokam. This should be sufficient for us to give priority or to give focus in pursuance of spiritual practice and spiritual aspirations. You did not find the poetry?
Yes, Prabhuji. I should I display it, Prabhuji? I found it.
Yes, it is important because our mind again, he is our master is our mind. What to do? We are sold out to our mind, and we will very strictly follow whatever the mind prescribes. Yeah, you will speak very well in Bangla, huh? Manoram Prabhu. So you please guide us. You pronounce, you recite.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Jada vidya jato mayara vaibhava, tumara bhajana baddha.
Badha. What is the biggest badha in our bhajan? Is Jada Vidya. And what is Jada Vidya? He's saying it is Mayara Vaibhav. It is not Krishna's Vaibhav. It is not Bhakti Vaibhav. It is Mayara Bhava. And Tumare Bhajane Bhada. It is one of the biggest obstacle. Go ahead.
Moha janamya anitya samsare jiveke koraye gadha.
And what is the impact of Jada Vidya? It is Moha Janmiya. What is the Moha? That we will consider our body and mind to be the self. And we will think that this world is a good place, is a happy place to be, anitya samsare. And the person is fooled. Jive ko karo gadha. Go ahead.
Sei gadha hoye samsarero boja bahinu aneko kalo.
Sei gada hoye, even is everlastingly fooled, tricked by the illusionary energy. And what the donkey does, he knows only one thing, is to carry load. What kind of load? Which load has nothing to do with him. Samsare boja. Jiva sei gada hoye, samsare boja. And how long he has to carry? Bahinu anek kal. For many, many lifetimes. Or for many, many yugas. And bardhake khono. Bardhake, what is bardhake?
Old age, Prabhuji.
Yeah, old age. So when the old age will come, bardhake khono, shaktira bhave. What will happen? The load carrying capacity will be lost. Isn't it? Maybe now you are young. Huh? You are in your youth. So there is some Shakti, na? There is some strength. What is the strength? To carry the load and remain a donkey. But don't worry, old age will come. Huh? And Shaktira abhave. Then there will not be strength. Kichu nahi lage bhalo. Then nothing will satisfy. Nothing will make you feel content. Next. Jivana jatana hoilo ekhona. Se vidya avidya bhilo. Can you interpret? Manoram Prabhu?
First interpretation is Prabhuji. Jivana jatana means the life has become miserable or distressful. Hoilo ekana means now.
No. Jivana jatan means all the endeavors made in the life. What was the endeavor made in this life? Hoilo ekhona. Only one endeavor. What was the endeavor? Se vidya avidya bhelo. But we were always considering avidya to be better than paravidya. This is what we do. आज एक दिन क्लास नहीं सुने तो क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? Hardly it matters. आज नहीं पढ़े तो क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? आज चैटिंग नहीं हुई तो क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? We've always been considering the material existence to be more important than the spiritual aspect. Avidvara jwala khatilo bhishama. Se vidya hoilo selo. So the avidyara jwala, the fire of material existence, it will khatilo bhishama. Bhishama means very profound, and ghatilo means to reduce. So this is the situation. You can stop it. तुम्हारे चरण बिना किछु धन संसारे ना छे, और भक्ति विनोद जड़ विद्या छाड़ी. Of course, Bhakti Vinod Thakur has long lost the aspiration and interest for Jad Vidya. Tua pade kore sar. Okay. So sometime I have so many times told you that you must have your song books. Now you have a shloka book, you are writing. You are mentioning you are writing, you are using it or not. At least in a week you should add 2 verses. If you're not able to memorize, at least try to get the understanding of what the verse is. You should also have a song book. You should have a song book. At least on Saturdays or Sundays, you should do one bhajan. If you do that, and particularly Srila Prabhupada has recommended of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Srila Narottam Das Thakur, do recite this bhajan. It will purify us so much. All the contamination which is there in the heart and the mind, it can be washed off. Otherwise, every day, every moment, Jada Vidya Maya Vaibhav. We are going in the direction of Jive ke kore gadha. And what will gadha do? Or gadhi do? Gadha or gadhi will only carry the load. And bardha ke ek hono shakti abhave. Then only one will cry. And then there cannot be any way that it can come back. So here we see that how Srila Vyāsadeva is approaching Narad Muni. And see, this is very important. Who is Vyasadeva? Vyasadeva is not an ordinary living personality. He is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. He is Saktyavesh avatar. Still, he has to approach Narad Muni. So what to speak of anyone else? What is the position of anyone else as compared to the position of Srila Vyāsadeva? Prabhupada says that it behooves everyone to submit to the spiritual master. It is not an option. It is a compulsion. The sooner, the better. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. Any question or contributions from your side? Very, very important aspect. I remember from my teacher, I heard these verses more than 20 years back. Around 20 years. Not even 20, not 20. In 2005 or 6, age 16 to 18 years back. But the impression is very deep. He was teaching us Bhagavatam and then he stopped Bhagavatam. He said, no, you don't qualify for Bhagavatam. You should study Bhagavad Gita for next 10 years. Fortunately, by his grace, we did that. More than 10 years. I have started Bhagavatam now. Studying also and speaking also. In last 2 years only. For next 20 years, we did Bhagavad Gita study only. He said we should spend your life studying Bhagavad Gita. Very important. Because unless and until one knows what is Bhagavad Gita, how can he know Bhagavatam? Everything understood? You have diagnosed the root cause of our despondency. Everything will become changed from tomorrow. We will not be pursuing the same goals, material goals, which will lead us for frustration and suffering. Hare Krishna, I am stopping because I don't see any question coming. Manoram Prabhu, what time you are reaching on Friday?
Yes, Prabhuji, around I think 3 p.m.
Okay. And Pranav, how about you?
I have to see, Prabhuji. I think flight is on 11.
11 from Pakistan. So you will reach even before Manoram Prabhu. Okay. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.